You want to start?
Junior, you want to call the meeting to order?
Yeah, we'll call the meeting to order. We got a quorum.
We have a quorum. We've got Charlotte and Ron and yourself on here, so we've got a quorum.
Okay, now we ain't got no meeting minutes.
No, we don't have any meeting minutes to approve.
Okay, well, we probably should next time have them for the last time though, right?
Yeah, for this meeting, I'll type up the minutes for this meeting.
Well, I mean the one before this one.
We didn't have a quorum.
Oh, we didn't? Okay.
No.
Well, Justin, I guess we'll let you start with the emergency response training facility. Is that where you're going to start off?
Does everybody have the agenda in front of them, or do I need to share it on the screen? Everybody got the agenda?
Yes.
So I'll start by giving y'all an update on the emergency response training facility. And as y'all know, last year the IDB received a grant, direct appropriation from the state for the first round was for $5.3 million, and we're set to receive the second half of that grant here in just a few weeks for an additional $9.75 million. So we've got $15.1 million that's been designated to the IDB. We've set up, we filed organizational documents to set up a separate entity from the IDB. So those documents have been filed for us to set up a separate LLC. Let me see if I can go ahead and pull up my screen. Hang on a second. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So of course with this campus is going to be where local, state, and federal first responders, they're going to be trained to respond and handle a spectrum of disaster events related to chemical, radiological, and nuclear and other high hazard activities. So earlier this year, the plans for this facility, where it was going to be located, somewhat shifted. So where this facility is actually going to be located is on going through Oak Ridge, the Roane County portion of Oak Ridge on Highway 95. And it's actually right across from the Horizon Center Industrial Park. It's an 80-acre parcel. As far as the land transfer, DOE has transferred this parcel to the NNSA. And we're in the process now of, as you can see in the middle, this campus will not only have our facility, which will be a state facility, but it will also have a federal high hazard facility as well. So our parcel is the 21 acres. So we're in the process now where NNSA is transferring this parcel to the separate entity that's been set up, the LLC. And we expect that to take probably about 6 months. So timelines, we're looking to hopefully begin break ground and construction of December of this year. Construction will take probably about 14 to 15 months. So we're hoping, if all goes well, to have the facility constructed and completed by February, March of 2022. Was y'all aware where the facility was going to be located?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, just to give you a timeline on what's happened the past few months, back in mid-March, we published and solicited for an expression of interest for parties that was interested in bidding on to design and construct this facility. From that expression of interest, we actually had about 12 parties, which was a good number, respond back that were interested in the project. On May the 12th, we had a informational meeting with these 12 parties, and at that time, an RFP was issued, which was due back to us. It was roughly a month. We gave them a month to work on their proposal. Those were due back on June the 15th. So on June 15th, we actually received 8 very good proposals from a lot of good teams. Of those 8 proposals, the selection team for this project scored those proposals, and we got down to 3 finalists. And those 3 finalists went through a 2-hour interview with the selection team on the during the second week of July. After those finalists were interviewed, the selection team went back and did a final round of scoring. And recently, it was recommended from the selection team to the LLC management team to recommend the team of Lawler Wood and Merritt Construction to design and construct this facility. So I'm going to stop there and let you guys ask any questions that you might have on this project.
Jason, are we still receiving interest money off of the initial amount?
We are. From what we received last year and what we're going to receive here in a few weeks, we're still receiving interest money. Absolutely.
And does that interest money stay with us through the whole process? And if there's any left, then the IBD would continue to have those funds available? It
would be, but whatever payment, we haven't made a lot of payments. There haven't been a lot of expenditures yet for this project. We found out, like with our expression of interest, publishing those, any payments that we make that come out of the account comes out of the interest first before it hits the principal.
Comes out of the interest first?
Yes.
Yeah, we've been able to pay our expenses through the interest, and I believe, and we should go back and double check, but I believe that the interest has to be used for the project, and if it's not used, it has to go back to the state. So it's not like it's a windfall for the IDB.
Okay, so the interest all is part of just the building project.
Right, the design and construction and of the project.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Charlotte, Junior?
Sounds good.
Okay. Anything
Now,
you'd like to add, Mr. Palmer?
I'll bring up one point. We do not have a contract in place with Lawler Wood, but they're working on that. They're also working on, Lawler Wood is actually putting together a proposal. This, the contract, development contract. This project is an exact parallel to what was done in Oak Ridge for the Jack Case Center inside the fence at Y12 and for the New Hope Center along Scarborough Road there. So Lawler Wood was involved in both of those. Our attorney, Mark Mamontoff, who's representing us, was involved in both of those. So we expect the contracting process to go fairly smoothly because both parties have been involved in essentially exactly the same thing. There was a little difference in that the Oak Ridge project required a loan to be secured to finance the construction, and we're very fortunate our project is much simpler with having this grant from the state. So we're working, and we should have, we should have the contracts in place. I can't estimate, but weeks, not months.
Mr. Palmer, how many people do we anticipate coming through that training facility, and for what period of time will they be there?
I don't remember that number. The number that has been thrown around for employment, though, and I believe this is for all of the facilities, the state facility and our private facility, is like 900 people, which seems high, but there's a lot involved in this. So, but I don't remember seeing a number of participants that would come through here for training.
We know if they'll be there like 3 days or for a week or.
Don't know.
Yeah,
That would vary on their training class, I guess, that they're going to be doing.
Okay. I guess my question,
Go
will
ahead.
we have any access to having maybe a new hotel or something?
one of
I would say
the
that would be a good possibility with everything that's going to be going on that end of the 95 with this new training center and the high hazard training facility, and then of course with the Horizon Center with the proposed racetrack. It seems ideal. It'd be a great place to put a hotel.
So this building that Lawler Wood's going to, I guess, design and be a part of or whatever is you called it private. So we're going to be able to draw tax revenue from it.
yes, that was part of our planning, and the way it was implemented is that the facility will pay property taxes.
Okay, so how is it going to be done like the way they do Y12 and R&L, where it's just a percentage of farmland, what they consider farmland, or is it going to actually be more of a revenue downfall from that?
This won't be in lieu of tax. This will be actual assessed values and.
Okay. Yeah, that's the words I was searching for. So who's actually going to own the building and property? Is it going to be Lawler Wood or?
No, actually, this new special entity that's been created, it's called the Roane County ETC Project LLC, will own it, and it is a wholly owned entity that's wholly owned by the Industrial Development Board. And if the Industrial Development Board owned it, it wouldn't be taxable. You know, our stuff is
Right.
tax exempt. So we created this other separate entity that will be taxable.
Now, is this going to be shared tax with the city of Oak Ridge, or is it solely going to be Roane County?
It's in the city of Oak Ridge, so whatever rules apply to property taxes collected in the county, in the Roane County part of Oak Ridge, would apply to this.
So we'll be collecting the county taxes, and they'll be collecting city taxes, I guess.
Right.
And I lost connection a while ago and have to sign back in. Where's this facility going to be located at as far as to the racetrack?
Let me pull the map back up.
It's kind of across the road from it. Did you copy that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Can you see that, Junior?
Yes, sir.
So it's going to be on 95 in Oak Ridge, right across from the Horizon Center Industrial Park.
Right. And the racetrack is in that vicinity there. Across
Right.
Right.
So we got the two green and the yellow. So the RCIDB parcel, that's 21 acres. That's where it's going?
Yes, that's where
Okay.
the state facility will be located.
All right. Then the other two green, is that just available parcels or?
that on the left-hand side is where the federal high hazard facility will be located. And the
Uh-huh.
light green area will still be, the federal property will just be a buffer.
A buffer or room for expansion if they ever want to, I guess.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's all I had. Thank you.
Okay.
Jason, are they really still considering putting the racetrack in Horizon Center?
Yeah. I think I saw a few weeks ago where the Oak Ridge City Council voted to move forward with that, if I'm not mistaken.
The IDB did, actually. It was the Oak Ridge IDB approved sale of the property to the developer there. There's some things that have to happen in order for the racetrack to actually be developed. And the main ones relate to strips of land within that parcel that the DOE owns. It's not owned by the Oak Ridge IDB. And those properties were declared environmental protection areas or zones or whatever. And so we don't, the developer's going to have to plead the case to DOE to change that. I don't, whether that will happen or not, we don't know. But the sale of the property is, and I'm sure the sales contract includes some situations to that make it contingent on them getting access or finding a way to to be able to cope with the restrictions on the strips of land that cross through there.
See,
So will
with
the
that,
racetrack be a private entity as well?
It is, yes.
So that's additional tax revenue for us then.
Right.
was, I can see motels starting to come up and maybe even restaurants with that because, a lot of people think a racetrack like Bristol or something's just twice a year. It's more than that. The tire manufacturers have test dates and they have them rally meets there, and you got people coming from all 48 states and even Canada that hit them places. So, it could be a very active location the year round. Weather.
You're going to have to plead hard in Oak Ridge.
Isn't this a motocross? Isn't it a motocross racetrack or something?
It's a road course, I think.
Huh?
Road course.
Road course. Okay.
So, there's endless possibilities with it, with other manufacturers coming in doing tire testing, shop testing, so forth, or even race teams.
Good luck. Go on campaign.
Yeah, I know, right?
Seems like a lot of infrastructure dollars wasted, though. It just seems like that's I don't know.
Yeah. It's going to be a long
All right,
road.
we ready to move on to topic 2?
Yeah, go on. We beat this horse enough.
Okay. Topic 2, recertification of certified sites. Guys, this is something I've been working on since February of last year, so about a year and a half, to have the Jones Road site in Roane Regional Business and Technology Park, and then the Cardiff Valley Road site in Roane County Industrial Park in Rockwood, to have those sites recertified. Those sites were originally certified back in 2013. Every 3 years, you have to go through a recertification process. And what I learned is it's a timely process. So it took about a year and a half to get it done, but within the last few weeks, I've received award letters on both of those sites. So those sites are good for recertification status for the next 3 years.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Yep. Any questions?
How many certified sites are there in the state, Jason? Do you know?
I would say about 50. We have 3 of those in the county. Of course, Horizon Center is also a certified site over in, it's Horizon Center Lot 6 in Oak Ridge. So there's actually 3 certified sites in the county.
Is that part of the racetrack?
Yep.
Wow.
That's the site.
Mm.
All right, we'll move on to topic 3. I'm going to share a picture here. Let me get back here. Of course, last December, EJ Thermo purchased a 6-acre parcel in Roane Regional at the end of the cul-de-sac on Sam Rayburn. We had a groundbreaking ceremony for them. I think it was a week right before Christmas, and they didn't waste any time. They started construction about the 2nd week of January, and had a timeline. They told me they wanted to be moved into this building by August, September, and they're about on track. I've got a picture shared with the, this was from about 3 weeks ago, but they're looking to move into this facility and begin production sometime in September.
What do they do there?
That's the company that was leasing space in Loudoun County. They looked around the region. They decided to make Roane County their home. So EJ Thermo, they support the metals industry. So they don't do any smelting process on site, but they manufacture and make thermocouplers and ladles for those companies that do. It's a 35,000 square foot facility, so they built a lot bigger than what they actually need. They've got plenty of room to grow and expand, and I've actually helped them within the past 3 to 4 weeks. They have about 17,000 square feet they're not going to use, so I've partnered up with an existing company within the park, and they're going to lease that remaining space in their building. So I've kind of connected those 2 parties together, and they're going to lease that the other half of that facility.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm going to move on to topic 4, organize my drawer. For about the past 3 years, we've had a vacant building in Roane Regional. It was the former Advanced Plasma building. It's right across from Proton Power and Saginaw Control. That building's been vacant for about 3 years, and earlier this year, a company called Organize My Drawer, they're based out of Colorado. They bought that building. They're up and running. In this company, they make customized cabinets and drawers for homes and businesses. So we had a vacant building, and now we've got somebody in it. So that's always a good thing.
Now, did this either the Thermo or the Organize My Drawer, was they asking for any incentives, or they used the program that we have on hand?
They did not seek any incentives.
Okay.
Actually, EJ Thermo, they paid nearly full asking price for the acreage they purchased at the end of the cul-de-sac. So,
And how many people are these 2 companies going to be staffed with?
Organize My Drawer, to be honest with you, Junior, I'm not really sure. I think they're a handful, probably 3, 4 to 5.
Right.
EJ Thermo, they're about 15, but they're a company that's growing. I love to see that they build bigger than what they do now, because hopefully they'll continue to grow and expand, which means for additional job opportunities in the county.
So I take it they brought their employees with them out of Loudoun County, or most of them?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But they
we're
were looking
waiting
throughout
on,
the region. I mean, they could have located to,
right.
Knox or Anderson or Blunt, but, early on in the process, I developed a great relationship with the president and CEO, and, relationships tend to go a long way, and he felt comfortable working with me, and I worked with him throughout the process, and he wanted to make his home here in Roane County. So I was glad I could help him do that.
Yeah, exactly. I just hope they really grow and can put some more people to work around here.
Yep. Any other questions about EJ Thermo? Let me pull up another slide here. So TCAT, Sellers Enterprises Building Lease, 3-star reimbursable grant. So last fall, one of the county's 3 SMART goals involved TCAT to expand and enhance their curriculum offerings. So the county could apply for one reimbursable grant. So we submitted a grant application for TCAT. That grant was awarded. It was fully awarded at $50,000. So I've partnered with TCAT to help them begin to launch one of their new training programs, which will be building construction technology. So they don't have the room at their current facility to bring on this program. So the past several months, I've been working with Dennis Turpin and Chris Ayers, trying to locate a building where they could launch this program. We've had a few that fell underneath our feet, but I think the building that we actually honed in on turned out to be better for them. So the building that we found for them is actually in Harriman. It's located behind the Oasis gas station on Old Roane Street. I'll show you here. That's what they're going to be leasing. It's got 4 bays. It's got about 5,000 square foot of shop space. And what's cool about the building on the right-hand side, you've actually got 2,500 square feet of office space as well. So I've been working, the owner of this building is Sellers Enterprises. So throughout this whole process, I've worked with him and I've worked with TCAT. I was kind of the middleman in negotiating a lease rate for them to agree on. We've gone back and forth with some lease agreements, but a couple weeks ago, we got a finalized lease agreement signed, so we're ready to move forward. So what we're looking to do with the reimbursable grant, it's up to $50,000. So what we're going to do is we're going to be able to pay for the first year lease for this building for TCAT with that reimbursable grant.
Now, are they getting a house too?
No, the house was an option. They could have got the house too, but Mr. Sellers was he was willing to work with TCAT. He wanted to see this thing come to fruition, so he didn't require them to lease the house as well. So they were able just to lease this portion of the property.
Has there been any more talk about them building an industrial park?
Junior, I knew you were going to ask that. So, I
I'm
wanted
really
to see this.
excited
I wanted
about
to see
that
this
if it
thing
go through.
do what now?
I said I'm real excited and hoping it will go through.
I am too. So, Dennis was adamant about, getting this to go through so they can launch one of these programs. I've touched base with her on several occasions to see, we've talked to the board about land in Roane Regional, about moving forward and building this new facility in the industrial park. The thing is, they've really never come back to us to show us a building concept and what their needs are. So I definitely want to revisit that again now that we've got this behind us. We've got them a lease building where they can launch one of their new programs. We're able to take advantage of the 3-star reimbursable grant. So now that we've helped them with this accomplishment, I do want to revisit and see where we're at with building this new facility in the county, because I would love to have this built in one of our industrial parks. Because if you think about the partnerships within the park and within the region, it'd be great to have this new facility in a park.
Well, they had looked at some land out there and picked out one of the least desirable places. I think they picked out 3, but you know, any of the three they'd said that they could work with. So I
Yeah,
didn't
we
know
looked
how
at
that
three.
was
They
gonna
were
go.
actually looking at the parcel that, they were looking at some of the land there where EJ Thermo's going, and this was kind of happening at the same time. But, you know, when you've got an industry and somebody interested and that's willing to pay, you know, nearly
Right.
full asking price for a piece of property, we had to kind of look at plans B and C as far as the training facility.
It's kind of hard to put a value though on having a technology center and industrial park, being probably the only one in the country with that.
I agree.
You know, I mean, because there's benefits to not only them but us as well, with them being in there with the programs they was talking.
Right. But we can, I mean, I want to work fast, but I can only work as fast as they want to work with me. And until they can come down and come back and say, you know, this is our plan, this is our design, this is our building concept, where we can really look within the industrial parks to see what makes feasible sense for their project. You know, that's the type of information we've asked for.
Well, maybe
Really haven't got it up to this point.
well, maybe you can work a little harder on that since you got this behind you.
Yeah, that's the goal. Any other questions on the TCAT leased facility? All right, I'm going to move on to the Earl Duff Subaru pilot. And Earl Duff Subaru come to the IDB. It's been probably about 2 years ago, and we have to look and remember that, you know, of course, Tim Duff's building a new facility, a new dealership right off Galahar Road in Kingston, and the existing facility in Harriman will still remain to be open for used car sales and service. But Mr. Duff, he could have put this new facility anywhere. It could have gone Knox County, Anderson, Blunt. He chose to stay in Roane County. He did come to the IDB with a pilot request and application, which was approved by the IDB 2 years ago, in principle, with him coming forward with a formal proposal, which he is planning actually to do, I think, at our next IDB meeting on Monday. So at the next IDB meeting coming up this Monday, Mr. Duff has been working with his legal counsel to be able to present to our board a resolution and draft lease agreements for the board to officially approve. But with this pilot, with the capital expenditure for the project and the number of new jobs he's looking to bring on and the wages associated with that job, the pilot that was approved was within the county's pilot reauthorization policy. So it'll be a 6-year pilot at 50%. Any questions?
Is there a target date when they expect to be finished building?
Yeah, Mr. Duff, he actually didn't want his pilot, his incentive to start until after construction was completed on his project. And I spoke to Mr. Duff a couple of weeks ago, and he's looking at a target date to have construction completed by the end of this year.
Awesome.
So. Okay, Pam, you want to go over the marketing report? You're muted. You're muted, Pam.
Unmute. Okay. Kept going back and forth. Sorry. We'll share my screen. Let's see first what I'm supposed to start with. Some of you may have already seen this, but I wanted to show. I knew you probably had not seen the website. But we just launched a new outdoor recreation guide.
There it is.
Oh, hold on.
No, that's your COVID portal.
I know. That was what was up. How can I get? Okay, I'm gonna have to go there first and pull it up. But part of it was a new landing page and information about outdoor recreation, and that's what I wanted to show you guys. So I've got it up now. Very proud of it. Okay. So the brochure shows a lot of information, but the website has even more. And when you enter, it's roaneoutdoors.com, or you can access this from the top, Get Outdoors. So we're focused now on a lot of outdoor recreation and some information that we really didn't know. We knew we had, like bird watching sites. Gupton Wetlands is a very popular, sorry, my cat, location for birders to come and from all over the state and the country. So we had an intern this summer that worked with us from Bryan College, Caleb Beasley, and he did some research and gathered information to put on the site about some of the birds that you can find here, some of, you know, a lot of the popular fishing. So that's what we added to our website that, you know, you can't really include in a brochure. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys how it looks. So when you scroll down, you have some options. So I was going to show you the bird watching page. And then our brochure tells about the page, so people can go directly to that if that's their interest. But we have information about some of the top birds that you can find here, and then if you keep scrolling down, it has information, and then it has some of our top spots for bird watching. There's the Gupton Wetlands, and you can go directly to that page. It has more information about it. We'll be adding more photographs as we acquire those and filling a lot of this information in. And so I think it's going to be a really good piece to go along with all of our other marketing, you know, that just shows our assets for outdoors, whether it's hiking, biking, or Tennessee Riverline. You know, that's always been a top priority. But now we have some more information. And we even learned, you know, there's some hiking trails that we weren't really even familiar with. A new one that's in, I think they call it the Rockwood Forest. It starts behind the Mike Brillo ball field. So we learned a lot doing this, and our intern helped us a lot going. He even took some pictures of some places and just did a lot of research. So we're really proud of that. And I wanted you guys to know, because the IDB, so last year when the tourism budget was cut for last fiscal year, it was suggested by some of the commissioners that we go to the IDB and ask them to consider paying for a tourism project, and especially something that would help with quality of life, you know, when we're recruiting businesses and industry. And so the project that I chose to ask them about, you know, was the outdoor recreation guide, and they did agree. So the IDB actually paid for all of this. So that's why I wanted you guys to be aware of it and know that this was, you know, this came out of that. And also there was a, I'm going to share a billboard. Let's see, let me stop sharing that. And have any of you seen the billboard that's up on I-40? Anybody noticed it? You have? Good. I'm gonna show it to you in case haven't. Okay, so this is located on it's on the left-hand read on I-40 westbound, right before you get to the Harriman exit. And there's 3 or 4 new boards there on the side of the hill, and we got a really good deal on this one for the year. It's already paid for the year, grant money. plus some money that the IDB put in. So between those two, we were able to get it for the whole year. And we hope to get another one going in the opposite direction. And this was a photograph that was taken during the Tennessee Riverline group paddle. And that's one of the UT students looking at a Watts Bar map. So they allowed us to use the photograph, and they're very excited that we chose to do this type of promotion for the county because it helps them as well. So we're really proud of it. And like I said, we hope to get another one going in the other direction because, you know, there's 55,000 supposedly the driving through it, you know, any day on I-40. And so we have done some billboard advertising in the past. And I mean, you don't necessarily know whether it's working or not, but I can't imagine that people aren't noticing this. And Kaylee is checking the website because since that is a new landing page, it is a new web link, we can kind of monitor and see kind of, you know, what the traffic is and whether there's any increases at certain times. For instance, there was a backup on the interstate and she learned about it, and so she went and checked our web traffic for that period of time. So she's working on getting us some reports on that, and that'll help us too in the future when we, you know, want to do more billboards. But you kind of hate not to utilize the fact that, you know, there's that many people passing through there, and we don't know any other way other than social media that you can reach that many people, you know, on a day. So we're excited about that. Any questions about any of that?
No, they look great. They do. Really like
I love it. And we know, I mean, people have been coming in and asking about recreation and where to hike and, you know, where to go, you know, ride a horse. And so I've been wanting to pull something like this together for a long time. And it just happened to be at the right time because now with the COVID and the pandemic, you know, people are looking to get outside. And we're, I think, strategically placed in the perfect position, you know, for people to come here because they can do social distancing. And we have a lot of great places, a lot of biking trails in Oak Ridge area. So I think that's just going to grow and increase.
Oh.
Was there anything, I know, Justin, you were going to show them or mention the postcards that we did.
I can go ahead and do that now.
Okay.
We'll skip down to the postcard campaign. This was actually Junior's idea.
Hey, Justin, Ron has a question.
With
Yes.
your outdoor thing, you know, we're getting that new bridge at the old campground, and now
Right.
may be a time for you to work with the sports committee on trying to lay out a plan over there. Because
Yeah, I mean,
we're just gonna get one chance, and you know, if we can draw several people into it to get ideas, I think our chances are greatly improved of making the right choices.
If you come back, you can always.
yeah, we'll be involved at any moment, you know, anytime we're asked. We'd love to be part of that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. This was Junior's idea. Junior called me a couple months ago and said, you know, with everything that's going on with this pandemic, if you look at some of the cities across the country, you know, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Chicago, St. Louis, Portland, Seattle, there's a lot of companies that's been looted, damaged, and even burnt down. So, you know, in talking to Junior, we thought it'd be a good idea to reach out to these companies. You never know what they're thinking. They might be considering retirement, looking to move down south. They might be considering they're fed up with it. They're looking to maybe relocate their business. You never know. Everybody's got a unique situation, but you know, I thought it was a great idea. And we did a little research. We've started with the Minneapolis, St. Paul area, and did some research and located. We're able to find about 250 companies that had either been burnt down or damaged or looted. So we thought it'd be a good idea to reach out to these companies and working with Pam and Kaylee, our marketing manager, this is the outreach that we come up with. It's a postcard, and you can see on the screen what the front of the postcard looks like. But we did a little brainstorming, and on the back of the postcard, of course, it's always good to show a map and let people know where we're located, but we wanted to include, 15 bullet points of what makes our area and region attractive. So this was actually what was sent out. This mail out didn't happen till what, Pam? I don't think it went out till about 2 weeks ago was when we actually got it finalized and sent out. But this is the finished product, and like I said, I think it was a great idea by Junior, and this is what was put in place and was initiated. Thoughts and questions?
I think we can do some more of this too. I mean, as that continues, I think we can look at some other areas and do the same kind of thing.
Good idea, Mr. Chairman. I think one of the things, Jason, that we really need to look at too, we probably have in excess of 4 to 5 million gallons of treated water going unused in our treatment plants every day. And if we look and zero in on companies that are large users of water, pharmaceuticals, and try to do this same thing with those kinds of industries, we don't have to do anything. I mean, we've got such an abundance of water that's being, underused right now that, I mean, some companies could get really good deals right now.
Yeah. That's a great idea too. So we're always open for suggestions and ideas, and I think that's a great idea. And when Junior called me and mentioned this idea, I started thinking, what, that's pretty clever. So we're always looking for feedback from you guys as well. So we
did y'all include anything about being close to Y12 ORNL, supercomputer, stuff like that some of these companies could really benefit from?
Yeah, well, the lab is, we only had so much space to work with, and there's a lot of things we wanted to include. And, this is not necessarily just targeting businesses. Like I said, it could be reaching somebody that's looking just to come and retire here. But the lab is mentioned on bullet point number 4.
2, 3, 4. Oh, okay, yeah, I see it now.
Call from 18654.
All right, I'm going to close this down unless anybody else has any questions about the postcard. But thank you, Junior. That was a great idea.
Well, yesterday I couldn't spell genius. Today I am one.
I'm going to
Good job,
move into...
That's a quote from Gomer Pyle, I think.
Let me talk a little about recruitment on the industrial front. I can tell you, starting out this year, things were hot. I know Pam helped me. We had 2 or 3 site visits right at the first of the year, and things were booming. There was a lot of interest, and then the COVID pandemic hit, and things just really come to a complete halt. Things really slowed down. A lot of companies that were considering a project, either relocating or expanding or starting a new operation, everything got put on hold for months. And I can tell you that within the last several weeks, project activity has picked up. It seems like companies are starting to begin to move forward again. So we're starting to get some project leads from the state and TVA. A lot of companies are still looking for existing buildings, 100,000 square feet, and those are at a premium. We don't have that around here, and they're scarce, not only in East Tennessee, but throughout the country too. So what we see from these companies is they might think that they want an existing building, but once they go out and do that initial search, they come back around and then they start looking at some real estate options, some greenfield sites. But let me mention 3 projects that's still in play, that's transpired over the past several months and weeks. And couple months ago, Pam and I had a meeting with a local doctor veterinarian and a couple of his friends, and they're looking to do a joint venture operation, and they're eyeing the Roane County area. They're looking to set up a biotech clinical research facility in Harriman. They've actually, I know they're on Ruritan Road, there's an available church that's for sale. They have eyed that facility. I actually called the local doctor this morning to see how his project was coming forward. They're still trying to capture some initial investment, but he said without that investment, which might take several months, that he's able to front the upfront cost to get this thing moving forward, and hopefully with one of his joint venture partners, possibly funding the front half to get this thing started. So about a month ago, Pam and I had a meeting with some Harriman City officials to share this project. Well, actually, 2 of the 3 doctors were present to share the project and their vision. And the Harriman City officials were excited. I'm excited. I would love to see a biotech clinical research facility right in our backyard. Multiple possibilities to create, partnerships with Roane State and TCAT for training, and just sitting down, listening to them. They have big plans ahead of them. They have a great vision. So I talked to him again this morning. So, any way I can help to connect you or help move this project forward, I'm here to help. So all plans are still to move forward. So hopefully here in the near future, we'll have a biotech clinical research facility here in the county. Project Hamilton. Of course, we have the Jones Road certified site in Roane Regional, and leading up to the site, I don't know if any of y'all can remember, but leading up to that site, on the right-hand side of the access road is a slender piece of property. It's about 7 acres. And I never really dreamed of anything significant going there. I mean, I thought that you could put a couple of 10 or 20,000 square foot buildings. Nobody's really ever looked at that property, but I'm working with a gentleman now who's looking to buy that entire piece. And with and it can work if you have somebody that's looking to do a long rectangular building, it'll work. So I'm working with our team engineer, Jake, and we're looking to put some concepts together for about a 64,000 square foot building. With parking, it'll have truck access, but hopefully that's a project. If we can get it to fit on that property, this gentleman seems pretty adamant about pitching his case to the IDB for the sale of that piece of land. And in all honesty, I don't think it would be a bad thing, because leading up to the Jones Road site, we still have to extend the sewer line and electricity. And with this project, that can help get that closer to the Jones Road site. So it might be a win-win situation. Last thing I'm going to mention, and I don't think I'm at liberty yet to mention any names, but there is a company in Roane County Industrial Park that's just run out of room. They're looking to expand, and they have provided me, actually, I think it was, I can't remember if it was yesterday, it was within the last 2 days, a formal offer to purchase. They're looking to purchase some additional land in Rockwood in the industrial park for their expansion purposes. So we'll see how that goes. They've got big plans too. They don't want to leave the county. They're looking to stay right here, but they've just outgrown their space, and they just need some additional space to help with their growth efforts. Any questions?
Yeah, it's not got nothing to do with the companies you named, but is Corgi Pharmaceutical still in play?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, they've. I don't think they're looking to actually. I don't think they're actually looking to begin production, Junior, till about 2025. But Corgi Pharmaceutical, they purchased out in Heritage Center that Duck Island tract of land. So
it was purchased.
Do what?
That land was purchased by them.
that's what I'm thinking.
Awesome.
So that project, it's not a project that's going to come to fruition pretty quickly. But when I was reading over that project, I don't think they're looking to begin production until like 2025. But that project is still moving forward.
Yeah, I didn't know if they was breaking ground or when they was gonna do that, or all that stuff. So
Yeah. Guys, the last thing I'm going to mention is the last bullet point on our agenda is the Retail Academy 201. Last year, the Roane Alliance, I was part of this along with Alex and Sam, who's no longer with us, but we went through the Retail Academy 101 to help us get better trained on how to do retail recruitment, because it's totally different than industrial recruitment. And Retail Academy 101 was really based on your county's demographics and data. They provide us marketing flyers for the cities. So this year we applied to go through Retail Academy 201, and it's $10,000 to go through the academy. And I applied for a grant, which we were awarded. So we got a grant for $10,000. So the Roane Alliance is able to participate in Retail Academy 201. No money from us. So Retail Academy 201 is really, it builds on 101 with the demographics and data. But 201, you really start to get into some site specifics. They're going to help us identify probably 3 to 4 properties within the county that's really great to market. And who's attending the academy with me this year is Scott Stout and Tori May. So there's 3 of us going through the academy. Normally we meet in person. Last week we would, if we weren't going through this COVID pandemic, we would have been in Brentwood for a 2-day training, but we've had to scale back. Everything was put online. So last week we completed 2 days of online training. They've had us do a little bit of homework, so we're completing our homework assignments. We'll have some follow-up calls in September with some feedback and some direction on how to successfully complete this program. So,
Sounds great.
yeah, that's all I had to share today, guys. I know we've had some good discussion and have gone through our agenda. So, before we adjourn, I'll just open it up to if anybody's got any questions, comments, or concerns.
I know we just appreciate what y'all do. You do a great job. Both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ron, anything?
That's you covered a lot of territory there. If we can make something happen out of all of that, we'll be doing great. I think training facility is going to be something that that's going to be there for a long time for us, and not only create tax dollars, but hopefully that will grow that area out through there with some, as Junior mentioned, that's some restaurants and hotels.
I agree. If you look at the racetrack, the training facility, then you've got Earl Duff Subaru on Galahar Road. I think Galahar Road's primed to take off.
The airport.
The airport, exactly. I forgot about the airport, but yeah, it's really, that area is really primed to take off. So I want to thank Jim. Jim. I just want to thank Jim with that you mentioned the emergency response training facility, and there's no doubt that's the #1 project on our list to see through and make sure it's done right and completed. And I just want to say Jim Palmer, as far as the IDB board chair, has done a great job of heading up this project. And I just want to thank you again, Jim. I think this whole time you've done a great job and have kept us all in line, and we're going to see this thing through to the end and make sure it's done right.
Hear, hear.
Yeah.
And Jason, the other thing is that speaking of the airport, that might be something that you might can bring us up to date on next time, because it's my understanding they've run into some snags.
I haven't heard, but I can reach out and see if I can find any information.
Yeah, that might be an update for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
One major development was that the Knoxville Airport Authority dropped the project.
Right.
And the city of Oak Ridge decided to pick it up. So it's sort of zero-sum game because what Knoxville Airport Authority dropped was some state funding to do continued work on it, and Oak Ridge said, well, we'll take that funding, and so they're gonna, they're not putting any more money into it than what was in it before, but they are gonna continue to work towards its development.
Very good.
Junior, anything before we adjourn?
No, I think y'all doing a good job. I really like the postcard deal. I hope it, might draw in a fish.
Or a
You know,
chicken.
or a chicken. There you go. California is another good hot spot because they're not allowing their manufacturing plants to open. And, you've got Elon Musk that's claiming he's moving his Tesla plant to Texas. So, there's prime locations out there in some of these cities that we really need to target. And I think y'all are spot on with it. So appreciate
All
it.
right, guys.
Move we adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Junior, I'll type up the
Second.
minutes and send them to you for approval before we send them to Amber, okay?
That sounds like a plan. Got a motion, got a second. Good night, y'all.
See y'all. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
No, thank you.